Hey guys, it's Team OC from OC's Finest, and we're here with Wreck-It Ralph with his deck profile for the Giant card.
Yeah, so I got second place at New York Comic Con's Friday Giant card event, and I played Infernobles, so I'll just get right into it. Played the standard 3 connector, 1 dolphin. It's like the best normal summon of the deck. It's one of the reasons why the deck can play through a lot of hand traps. Just 1 OG here because I didn't want to brick on too many normal summons. This guy's good because if you get him, you use him to send gear free to grave so you can play around more hand traps, and you can also help your assault from getting ogred or gambit. Then we play 3 of the best extenders in this game. He lets you play through Nibiru, because after they Nibiru you just summon him and then use the token to go into Neo Fiber. Played 3 Renault because he lets me get gear free from grave, and usually I'll have a Fire Warrior monster on board, so it's easy to extend with him, and he's treated as a tuner if he's special summoned by his effect. 3 Fire Flint Lady. This is just another really good Fire Warrior extender. Helps make assault without using my normal summon. And if I draw the level 2 tuner Gemba, then I can summon him from my hand using her effect. 3 Super Quantum Red Layer. This is also a really good extender because it's not an effect, just an inherent special summon. And this is what I usually add off of the Soul for Tatsunoko plays. 3 Gear Freed. I maxed out on this at this event because I wanted to open him going second, and he's also good going first. He lets you play through more hand traps because he sets up a negate before you can resolve Assault. And then this is kind of a weird choice, but I played Vylon Sphere and Laval Lancelord in case I drew Colt Wing. Looking back, this wasn't really a good choice, but there's a cool combo you can do with Vylon Sphere where you can resolve Smoke Grenade twice in 1 turn. And Laval Lancelord is just another target to add off of his sword, so you can go into Charles with Tatsunoko because he's a level 6. 2 more bricks. This is what I usually summon off of Halka Fibrax, and Colt Wing's necessary now because Jetline and O-Line are banned, or Jet Synchron and O-Line. And then this is what I usually summon off of Assault for sending 2 equip spells. We're gonna go into the spells. Played 1 Monster Reborn, just the good extender and a broken 1-of. 1 Rhoda because everything's a warrior in this deck. 3 more Rhodas because Rhoda's good. And 3 of Durendo because 6 Rhodas is good. And then for more equips, we played 1 DDR. Looking back, I think I'm gonna cut this because it's not necessary for your combo. It's just really good because sometimes you can resolve Omega twice in 1 turn, or Dolphin twice in 1 turn. Smoke Grenade is the reason why we play the deck, because we can hand loop our opponent multiple times. If they hit this card, then the deck's probably gonna change a lot because it's not gonna revolve around getting Charles up first. Maybe go into more of like the True King of All Calamities place. 1 Phoenix Blade. This just is really good because it recurs it just gives you free discard fodder by banishing your warriors. It helps extend with gear free Oliver, fodder for DDR. This is banned in the OCG for a reason, so I don't know why it's not banned here yet. And then I opted to play 3 Living Fossils instead of 3 DDR because I felt like Living Fossil adding off of Power Tool Dragon is actually more useful than getting the DDR, because you're not always going to have Phoenix Blade engraved to banish your warriors, so Living Fossil just comes up more. And then I guess this is like the only weird thing about my deck is I played 3 Drag Down from the grave, so I opted not to play hand traps in the main deck this event because I just like this deck can play through so many hand traps, and if I resolve Drag Down, then I'm like guaranteed gonna win going first. Also, I didn't have triple tactic talents, so yeah, I would have played Exchange too, but Exchange wasn't allowed for remote duels at this event. And yeah, that's the main deck. And off to the extra deck, played some tokens for Link Cross and Aurodon. Played 2 Assault. I think you can get away with playing 1 Assault, but 2 Assault's good because bad players will hand trap her first effect, and it's just really good bait. Like if they Ash or Imperm her first effect, you just summon another warrior, go into the second Assault, and then just full combo them. Link Cross. This is another reason why the deck is working right now, is you either make Assault or Link Cross, and then they hand trap here or whatever, and then you just turn it into Link Cross, summon 2 tokens, and then just continue on with your combo. 1 half the 5x. I think playing 2 of this is actually better than playing 2 of this going forward, but I didn't have the second one, so I only played 1. But 2 Halka 5x does actually come up, so yeah, I would play 2 of this going forward. And then 1 Aurodon. This is what you usually end your combos with, and if this resolves, then you have full combo. That's it for the links, and we're going into synchros. Played 1 Metal Marcher. Yeah, he's just really good. He summons a tuner from grave. He's a machine. He's also a tuner himself. Most of the time you go into him with your level 2 warrior tuner and a token. 1 Tatsunoko. This is really good because you can synchro from your hand with the brick you added off of the soul. So this is a way you can get Borreload Savage Dragon or Omega on the field before you have to resolve Haka 5x. And this is also really good because it's unaffected by monsters, so if they try to Nibiru you after you summon this, then you can just keep comboing because this stays on board. I played 1 Formula Synchron. This is actually really necessary because if they hand trap your Assault second effect, you're not going to have access to a level 2 tuner, and Formula Synchron lets you have access to level 2 tuner, which is important to your combo. Also, it's a machine and a tuner, so that comes up too. 1 Borreload Savage. This is pretty standard. Your basic level 8 synchro monster with a negate. You can put this up before you have to resolve half the 5x, so it's really good. You just bait out all their negations before with Assault, and then once you put Borreload Savage on, you know your combo's gonna go through. Unless they have like Impermanent Nibiru, which actually came up in the finals. 1 Omega. I really like this card because if you have Gearfried on board, then you have less zones to combo with. So if you have to summon Gearfried as a negate, instead of going into Borreload Savage with Tatsunoko, you summon Omega, and then you just use its effect, rip a card out, and then he clears himself from the zone, so you have more room. Also, he's pretty good to send from your extra deck when you're going against Dogmatica and they resolve Maximus. I opted for 2 Herald this event. I think 2 Herald actually comes up a lot, and if you summon 2 Herald against Dino, it's just like an auto win because Herald is extremely strong against Dino. Like none of their cards work, miss, they can't even discard it to grave. Really good negation. 1 Power Tool Dragon. This comes up in the combo with the Aurodon. You usually make it, and that's how you add the one of the 3 living fossils. And he's also a machine, which comes up too. 1 Roland, pretty standard. Summon him, end phase, you can add Gearfried to your hand for a follow-up for next turn. And what you can also do is if they draw you and you can still activate Roland's effect. He won't add the card to your hand, but he'll still mill the 1 Equip Spell to grave, which comes up if you don't have access to Smoke Grenade. And then the last monster, the reason to play the deck is Infernoble Emperor Charles. This guy's really good. He has like 3 effects. He can quick effect pop a card non-targeting when equip is equipped to a monster on the board. It doesn't have to be to himself or your monsters, so sometimes in the Dragon Link matchup, when they equip Divine Lance to their Romulus, you can actually trigger his effect to pop a card. So that comes up, and yeah, he's really good because it's a disruption on your opponent's turn with Roland, and resolving Smoke Grenade is also really good. And yeah.
How many times did you play through hand traps throughout the event?
I mean, pretty frequently. Like, I got Droll, Lancia all the time, and it didn't even matter. Like, most of the time, Droll and Lancia are high impact hand traps, so I don't know. A lot of people think that it's good against Infernoble because it's good against the other decks, like Dino and Dragon Link. But Lancia really only stops some of your plays, like your Divine Sword from resolving and Droll. If you don't open up any of your searches, then like Droll literally does nothing. Most of the time we rip it out with Aqua Dolphin, so that's really good. And yeah, the only time like hand traps really stop me is if they open 2 high impact hand traps like in the same hand. Like I remember one time somebody opened Imperm and Nibiru, so they just Imperm my Herald and then Nibiru me. That kind of sucks, but most of the time it plays through like so many.
So you would, if you were for your next event, would you also consider just keeping without hand traps to have more extended?
Actually, going forward, I'd probably run at least minimum 6 hand traps in the main because I lost a lot of rock paper scissors, and going second without any hand traps is kind of suicide. So yeah, going forward, I'd probably play hand traps.
All right. And now for the side deck?
Yeah, side deck. Side deck's kind of weird because I didn't have all the cards I needed, but you know, I just made do with what I had. Played 3 Veiler. This would probably be Imperm if I had it, but you know, Imperm's better because they can't resolve triple tactics talents against you if you activate it, and you can use Imperm on your turn. It's just more multi-purpose. Played 3 Nibiru. This is pretty mandatory now in this meta because there's a lot of combo decks, and I mean, if you don't have Nibiru, then they're just gonna full combo you. So, and even then, sometimes they can combo through Nibiru, but you need this as a preventative measure. I only played 1 Droll because yeah, I only had one at the time, but I'd probably play more of this. This is really good against Invoke, Dogmatica, Shadal deck. Like they have a bunch of ad cards, you just draw them after the first ad. It's decent against Dragoonity sometimes if they don't have like the right extenders. This also comes up against Dinos if they like start their turn with like Terraforming or Fossil Deck or Extravagance. 3 Ash Blossom. I think this is a safe choice for a hand trap, but not important enough to be in the main deck. It's just really good because it covers most matchups, like even rogue matchups is just really good. Comes up in a lot of scenarios, that's why I think it's versatile. Played the 1 red reboot. This is like mandatory in your side deck. It's at 1 for a reason. It's really good. This is pretty much an auto win against back row decks. Played 3 Cosmic Cyclones. Don't own Lightning Storm and didn't have Harpy's Feather Duster at the time, so this is a good alternative. I don't want to just lose to Mystic Mind, so I want to have something in my deck to have it. And then 1 Pinkertops is pretty standard. It's at 1 for a reason. Really good versatile card. Going second. And yeah.
Do you want to show us some combos?
Yeah, I guess I can show just like the basic combo. Alright, so this is just gonna be your most standard basic combo that you do most of the time. Just requires any way to get to a soul. You don't really need any other cards, so just gonna use connector here and 4 blank cards. Normal summon connector effect. Just gonna get your Aqua Dolphin. Yeah, real game you pitch this for the effect to see their hand, check their hand for hand traps, and see what you have to play around. Pitch your card, summon Dolphin, resolve Dolphin. Go into Soul. Soul effect to add. I'm gonna add Red Layer. This is pretty important because it's a level 5, and with Tatsunoko being a level 3, this is how you get your level 8 synchro plays out. Her second effect, sending 2 equip spells for cost. Usually you send Divine Sword, Phoenix Blade, and Smoke Grenade, just to get them in grave. And then this is gonna summon Genba. So there's 2 tuners you can use for this. You can use Genba or you can use TG Striker. I like Genba because it's a fire and it comes up with some of my other monsters, but a lot of other people prefer TG Striker because it comes up going second. Turn a soul into Link Cross. Use the effect to summon 2 level 1 tokens. And then you're immediately going to synchro off for a level 3. For Metal Marcher. Effect, summon back the Genba. And then synchro for 3 again. For Tatsunoko. And then here, they might Nibiru you, but Tatsunoko is going to stay on board, so it doesn't really matter. Tatsunoko synchro with the Quantum in hand for level 8. You're gonna get your Borreload Savage effect, targeting Assault, get 2 counters. This is how you get a negate up before you have to resolve your Haka Fibrax. Turn Link Cross and Marcher into Haka Fibrax. Effect summons the Duskbot from deck. And then these are 2 machines, so you can go into a Rodon from here. Effective Rodon, summon 3 level 3 tokens. And that's also going to trigger Duskbot Engrave at the same time because 2 or more machine monsters were special summoned at the same time. Cool thing about Duskbot, you can even trigger this Engrave from if your opponent summons 2 or more machine monsters. Doesn't really come up that often, but just something to take note of. Here you're going to synchro the Duskbot and 2 level 3 tokens for a level 7 synchro. Go into Power Tool. Power Tool is going to reveal 3 living fossils, so you're just going to add 1 of them to your hand. And then you're going to use a Rodon effect to tribute 2 monsters, summon a Mecha Phantom Beast from deck. Summon Coltwing. Coltwing effect's going to summon back 2 level 3 tokens. It's going to trigger off Duskbot again because he's not once per turn. Next you're going to sync off Duskbot and a level 3 token for your level 4. You're going to get your Herald. I like to keep my end-board monsters in the edge columns and the middle columns just in case they have relinquished anima, so they can take it if it's underneath the extra monster zones. So here you use Living Fossil. You just bring back any level 2 tuner, summon back Gemba. If they stop you from summoning out Gemba, this is when you would bring out Formula Synchron. Level 2 tuner and level 3 token for level 5. Summon out Roland, don't forget to use this effect on summon. Synchro Roland and Coltwing, which is now level 4 for Charles. And at this point you check your grave to see if you have any Olivers or Ogiers to equip to your Charles before you move to end phase. End phase, Roland effects can activate. You're going to add Gear Free to your hand for follow up, and then you're going to discard any equip. Doesn't really matter what you discard. And then Charles end phase effect, you're going to equip Smoke Grenade from grave and usually an Oliver from deck to give him targeting protection. And then since an equip spell is equipped to a monster, Charles is going to activate his effect to pop a card. You pop Smoke Grenade. Smoke Grenade activates, you look at their hand, discard their problematic card, and you pass turn. You go to Omni Negate, another Omni Negate, and a quick effect popped in their main phase because Roland, if he's in the graveyard during the main phase, you can quick effect equip him to a warrior monster you control. So you just equip him to Charles effect, pop a card. And they're playing with usually around 3 to 4 cards, even less if they hand trap you.
So any shout outs, Roll?
I just want to give a shout out to my team OC, and my sponsor, Gem Accessories. And shout outs to Danny, because he's going to come up with a video soon, probably within a month or 2. And yeah.
And what's this?
This is the second place mini giant card, the Jinzo card I won.
Was it first time?
Yes, it is actually.
Yeah. Alright, Ralph, thanks for the deck profile.
No worries.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.
We await your return, warrior.